Hey guys, Alex here from GCI Traytec here. We've just finished up our latest build here and it is absolutely epic. I'm going to do a walk around and show you guys the ins and outs of this canopy. This one is going to the UK. So it's for a Ranger. It's the blood orange Ranger, so that's why we've got the colour match doors. And then the powder coat, it's not actually a black, it's called a bass, so it's a dark grey. So that way, that matches with the mud guards at the front. And then it's also the color coded on the orange on the door. So let's get into it, shall we? So the idea behind this canopy was it's set up for full luggage capacity. That means we've got one corner which is fully packed out. So in this quarter, we have the full EnerDrive touring package. So the 2000 watts inverter, the sine marina switching, Anderson's in out. We've got an AC charger, a DC charger up the top. We then have the clear view drop slide. So this was really difficult to get right because obviously we've got a very specific height we can go to. We had to fit the fridge and then also the battery up there as well. So we'll get around the other side and show you where we've tucked the battery away. So it's a gloss white on the inside. The toolboxes are standard, the pull-out ones, so I think they're a 40 litre thereabouts. We've got a 51 litre water tank underneath the tray. That means basically we've got two water outlets. We've got one at the front, which is a gravity outlet, and then one at the back here, which is pumped. So that's a fail-safe, as well as the power for the pump is from the canopy, it's from our lithium B-Tech battery in the canopy. So if we take that canopy off, because they're full jack-off systems, we won't have power to the pump anymore. We don't want to do it to the starter battery because we can run it flat. So we have the gravity, which is basically when the canopy is off, when the customer's away with their quad bikes, two quads also go up onto the tray, they still can get the water out of their tank. So let's jump around to the back. We have a few different things happening here on this canopy build. So one of the criteria was this is going from the UK to Cape Town. So it's literally going from England down Africa to South Africa, and then it's being shipped to India, and then going from India to Singapore. It's going to be absolutely epic. So we need a porta potty. So this one here, it's the same housing as a jerry can. It's just stretched basically to fit the porta potty in there. So we got the domestic porta potty. It's not going to be there all the time. It's just when they're doing their touring. So that's tucked away. And then it's 4 bolts to remove it as well if you do want to get rid of it. Next to it, on the other side, we have the standard 20 litre jerry. So I'd open that up. We don't have the jerry in there at the moment. Same idea though. And then in the middle, we have a new ladder. So this ladder is really unique. The idea behind the ladder is to actually assist the wheel coming down. So if you're not strong enough, if you're not 6'6" and made of muscle and you can't get a 35 wheel and tyre up in the back of your canopy, this is the product for you. So I'll show you how it all pulls down. It's absolutely epic. So first thing, you have to undo it. This shaft is adjustable. So at the moment, we've just got a 32 factory Land Cruiser tyre in here, just for demonstration purposes. We also have the height adjustment at the top, so I'll show you why in a minute. So we wind the locking mechanism off. So this is standard across all the GCI Traytec spare wheel holders. Take that off. We then take our backing plate and also the washers off, so we have a rubber backing on that so we don't scratch your tyre. All right, first things you got to do, pull the wheel back. So that comes back towards against this one. We then have double latches on both sides. So I've done 1, 2, and then holding the tyre comes all the way down. And as I said, this is adjustable here, so you can adjust this depending on your tyre. So this slide here, that won't happen because we'll adjust that up. And that comes all the way down there. And then you can easily, getting that off is much easier than getting a wheel up there. And then going up, it's the opposite. So you literally one hand, there's gas struts. We slide down, and then we go up and over. First things first, to lock it in place. Push it back. If you can't push it back, you can just start winding, and then as you wind, it will push it back for you. Bash plate on first. And then our 2 washers, and then our handle. Just make sure you get that on straight, and then you just wind this all the way in. As I said, this is adjustable, so you don't have to do all this. You just set the lengths of the shaft, depending on what size wheel you've got, what offset, what width, etc. So as you tighten the wheel up, that's not going anywhere. But we want to get to our Rooftop 10, our James Barrou Rooftop 10. So we have the front 2 latches, pull them down. Bit tight, that one. And then our ladder comes down like that. Obviously I won't climb on it because we're just on the stands at the moment, but that is good to go all the way up to your rooftop tent. So as we've got the tray and canopy sitting on the stands, we can show you a little bit of an insight to what the front of a tray looks like. So obviously you don't usually see this because it's always up against the cab of the car. So we have diesel filler on one side, so obviously it's all lockable through the filler neck there. You can see that's the pipe we run all the way to the tank. So depending on the car, this is the smallest one we go, so that's 1.5 inch. If you have a Ram or a Cruiser, it's 2 inches. You have your breather, so that goes up into the filler neck, and there's baffles in there, so no fuel can come out. It all goes back down the guts of it. Window protector, you can see how that's all bolted on, and then also how the actual headboard bolts to the tray. So there's a few different bolts used then in different strength locations. You can also see the very end of the structural rails. So these are, I guess, 2 or 4 rails that run down the length of the tray. So everything is sort of bolt, well, that is what bolts your tray to the car via obviously the tray mounts. On this side we have the water. The reason there's a lot of hoses going on, so we got the filler. We then have the breather, so we've got a 51 litre water tank. The breather comes up to there, and then this is our outlet. So from here, we're gonna tee it off. One tee goes to the gravity feed, the other tee goes to the pump, and that then goes to the rear outlet. Another really cool thing about these legs, doors closed, doors open, they don't hit. You can have your whole thing sitting on there without any problem whatsoever. So on this side, again, as I said, we're having 1/4 fully blocked out to maximize the storage space for the customer. One of the design criteria is a microwave. So with the touring package, as we've got that 2000 watt inverter, basically anything you can plug into a standard power point at home, you can plug into this package. So a 900 watt microwave, not a problem. And then if you just come over here, that's where the battery is. So if you look up the top here, that's the battery. So that's the 200 amp lithium BTEC battery by EnerDrive. So basically that there is enough power to power anything you want out of that Tourer package. You can go off grid for quite a few days comfortably, running your fridge, your microwave, induction cooktop, you name it, basically that can do it. Everything with the exception of a jackhammer, more or less. We've shipped tray and canopy packages domestically for quite a few months now. We've got units in basically Adelaide, we've got them in Melbourne, Sydney, and also in WA. This is our first international, so we're gonna fit it to a Ranger to make sure that there's no issues. We can't just jump on a plane and quickly fix something up. So we're getting a Ranger in, we're gonna rip off all the factory gear, put on this exact tray and canopy, build up the instruction manual so there's no problems for the guys putting it together in the UK. So stay tuned, we'll make sure we get heaps of photos of this being used out between the UK, South Africa, India, Singapore. Who knows, maybe one day we'll be looking at it again here at GCI Traytec if the customer comes to Australia. Cannot wait guys, stay tuned. So let's show the actual function of the ladder. So the front over center latches. Do you want to cut that?
It's stuck to the ground.